Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. I'm just about to remove the head on this 2010 Toyota Prius with 223,000 miles. You can see here how I have it organized. So the 12 millimeters EGR cooler. It's a path, isn't it? Timing chain here with the timing chain cover, two sliders. There's still a thermostat housing attached to it. You don't have to remove that. Here you can see the list of tools you need for this job. Alright. Cool. Now I said I'm about to remove it. So what do you need? Big hammer, right? You need to whack it as hard as you can. No, I'm just kidding. For the newbies, no, it's the other way. Here are the head bolts. You see these beauties? This is what we are talking about. Here is the beauty. Here is the area where the timing chain cover and timing chain was. Everything's removed. I disconnected on the back the exhaust. It should be free to pop, and we should be able together see if we can see some fails in that head gasket. So let's go and pop that baby off. And that's obviously sticking. There was a huge pressure on that head, between the head and the block. So you have to be careful. You have to find the correct prying spot. Make absolutely sure that everything is off, which it is, right? When it doesn't go, you go and recheck a million times that you didn't forget one bolt, and therefore you will completely destroy this whole thing. Yeah, this is a better spot. It didn't really need much right here, right? You can hear it popping and blopping and dropping. I was being careful right here. For some reason this side is stuck, so I will go what I just said. I will go and triple check everything. I will grab a light and check one more time. As we all say, it's better to be safe than sorry for breaking something. And I can see I did a good job. There's nothing. The wires are here, the high voltage wire, and another part of wiring harness kind of makes you doubt yourself. But I can see clearly there's absolutely nothing attached to the head. It's free and it needs to come off. Okay, we will continue right now. Double, triple, quadruple checked. What do you say? Is it ready to come off or not? Maybe I'm just too careful, fella. Yeah? Yeah, Mr. or Mrs. What am I stuck on? So here you can see I'm so happy. I put that camera on, my friend. I'm so happy because you can see sometimes it might take a while to wiggle it off. So, can we see our fail? Well, I wonder. Let me bring you in. And my first brief observation doesn't show me, or I'm not aware of, any clear failure. Now, might think right here, if you look with me, the gasket basically is not rounded completely, right? It has these like a protrusions. It's out of the round, but that's not blown. If we look on the brand new part, it's on every single spot right here, right? So that's correct. This one was misfiring and losing coolant on the number 1, because before this assembly, if I looked in the number 1 cylinder with the scope, it was absolutely clearly wet there. These were dry. I don't see any radical blown part, which obviously is coherent with the situation we had on this vehicle. It was that typical on the cold start after it stayed overnight. There were a few droplets of the coolant in the cylinder number 1 and maybe 4. That on the immediate startup caused that rattle for 5 to 10 seconds, and then it smoothened out, and the vehicle ran for the rest of the day perfectly. Again, after the parked, the coolant will seep. A few droplets are enough in the cylinder number 1, and it will rattle again, triggering also obviously that misfire on the number 1. So the vehicle was losing coolant, right? That coolant expansion tank is here, so it was clearly losing coolant, and this is the reason for this. So this gasket needs to come off. Now, why I couldn't lift it? Well, look how this area is rusted. Do you see that guiding dowel pin, I will call it? Look how this one is perfect. It was lifting easily right here, but there was a rust. So if I turn the head upside down or sideways, we should be able to see that difficult spot. It was right here, and you see the rust, right? It didn't want to live there. It was perfectly lifting on the other side. It just didn't want to do it there. Now you see the head nicely. There will be always some oil and possibly coolant still coming off. Also, I don't see any visible damage immediately right here on any of these areas. Obviously, immediately after finishing this video, I'm putting it in the box and driving it immediately in the machine shop. That person will be clearly doing measures, pressure testing valves. So look at the valves. This is towards to the driver, right? That's where the cooling is. 4. Look at those valves. And the same was on the spark plug when I pulled them. Look how they are identical, right? These 3 cylinders are clearly identical. Well, look at this one, how it's washed off. Look at the different color. Absolutely same was on the spark plugs. They are right here, and I can find you the one which came from number 1 without any hesitation. You will see it right away too. It's this one, yeah. See how dark? Oh, you don't see it, I'm sorry. Do you see how that tip? I'm bringing it too close. Come on, camera. This tip, right, this hook right here is very dark, washed off by the coolant. All the other ones have that super nice kind of shiny / sandy coating, white sand, right? Camera, do it. Yet immediately I can see the one of them, it's this one. The tip is dark because that cylinder was not working correctly. We can go together and move it. Wish me luck that I will, because I'm filming for you, wish me luck that the guy will meanwhile not go on his lunch break. And I will miss him and I will have to drive there twice. I hope it won't happen, but I know I have to film this for you guys. I have to film it for you. This is the channel about Toyotas, right? Here you go, the oil is coming out, so I still have to make sure I don't dump it on the machine shop. But here you can see the things which you don't see very often. Isn't this gorgeous? Isn't this absolutely beautiful to see the cooling passages around those cylinders? It's a very cool design. This one, as we said, lasted. They never dealt with it, these owners, so I know it lasted 223,000 miles before it developed, right, this problem. I was in previous video showing you how to set the number 1 cylinder. There are scratches still from that screwdriver which I was putting in to show you all kinds of ways you can confirm how to set DTC on the cylinder number 1. And look, this is what I told you. 1 and 4 will be all the way up here, which is absolutely correct, and 2 and 3 will be all the way down there. So we did a good job. Now you can even confirm it, that the setting TDC, top dead center, I apologize, I said it incorrectly, top dead center TDC, we did perfect job in that video. It's still, the engine is perfectly set, so yeah, I don't see any damage on this. I will need a straight edge, measure that the block is perfectly straight before I will be putting possibly resurfaced, right, pressurized, pressure tested and a resurfaced head with brand new Toyota gasket, which is right here. I can show you the item number, right, it's right here, upside down. This is the head gasket. It's still nicely in that package, and I go all the way in the Toyota dealer. This bag is full of every single O-ring and seal which is on this engine. In this procedure they nicely put that entire set for me together, because we don't want to do any redos, obviously, right? You just want to do it perfectly on the first try. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, that it was something cool for you. Maybe you learned something from it too, right? I think it's pretty fascinating to see how and when, after how long time, that engine failed, the head gasket failed. I'm very confident that the block or the head are not warped or anything. This just started, the owners caught it in beginning, right? There will be not bent rods from the hydrolock, because if you let it go too much, that leakage in the cylinder overnight, if you leak enough of fluid in that cylinder that the piston comes up, the water, as we all know, or coolant, cannot be compressed. And if there is too much in that area, well, the piston will come up, and that rod which is holding here the piston, it will hit the water and it will bend, right? So it's very important that if you have these problems, you need to stop driving it and you need to fix it, because if you will keep going, you will bend the rod, possibly it will shoot out of the block, and that whole engine, you can say goodbye, because that's done. That's a replacement. You cannot do just the head gasket job. There's no way. That's throwaway, and you can be buying new ones. So that's a warning, let's say, as a close-up of this video. If that happens to you, always get it diagnosed ASAP and stop driving it in the case that the coolant was found in the cylinder. Because if it goes further, boom, boom, and the whole engine is gone. So thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. If you like the video, give it a thumb up, please, and Please subscribe. I have way more coming your way soon. I will catch you later, alligator.